Hey, good evening, and welcome this Saturday evening, Saturday the 27th of the 4th, 2024. And coming all the way from the UK, my name is Silburn Sidiel. I want to thank those who are joining me on TikTok, those on Facebook, those on YouTube, and those on Instagram as well. I want to thank you so much for joining. And listen, I'm going to go straight into it. You know, with so many things which are happening in Jamaica and all the different excitement there on a political stream, the excitement with the the DPP, Paula Llewellyn, the excitement with the Integrity Commission and persons being, what should I say, reprimanded, recommended to the Director of Public Prosecution or so, with the whole diaspora conference. But I decided to do something different. I decided to go on a different angle today. Someone said to me, wow, from politics to racing. From politics to racing. And yeah, I decided to go onto REGGAE motor racing. Sometimes it's good to go with the flow. I've got this favorite saying, and this favorite saying is don't go with the flow or you'll be in someone else's stream, but instead to create your own rivers. Yeah, create your own rivers. And tonight I'm creating my own river. This time I'm not going with the flow of the typical bangarang and everything like that. I'm going to go into reggae motor racing, tonight. And I got Jamaicans Tommy Gore and Senna Summerbell, and they're in Germany. Not here in Germany, but they're in the UK. They're in the Europe actually, and in Germany for the start of the ADAC GT4 Germany racing season on Saturday, April 27th. And without further ado, I'm going to actually bring them in to let them explain, because I don't I don't want to keep them too long, because they have a massive racing tomorrow. So I'm gonna bring them on. But before I bring them on, let me just bring in Herbert. Herbert, how are you doing, buddy?
I'm all right. How are you?
I'm cool. As I said, I'm deviating from the norm.
Well, you have to do something.
And go on a different tangent. But let me just bring in my two gentlemen. How are you doing?
Hi.
Gore and Summerbell. How are you doing?
Good, everyone. How are you doing?
Good evening, my brother.
Yes. I want to thank you guys for for coming on tonight. And I believe you are here. You are in Germany. I'm gonna say you're here in Europe, but in Germany for
Silver,
this
Silver,
venture. Yeah.
where have you been? We left Europe in 2016. We're no longer in Europe. They're in Europe. We're in the UK.
He's talking about
Hello?
Brexit. Can you hear us, guys? Can you hear us?
Oh, okay, come in.
Yeah. Can you hear us? Let me see. Hello?
Hello? Can you guys hear us?
Hi. You can hear us. I can hear you.
Hear them for some reason. We can't hear
Oh,
you.
you can't hear us. Oh, check
Just
if
the
you're
phone.
if you're on mute.
Bro, just leave the meeting and come back. Hold on, let me leave and come back real quick.
Okay, leave and okay, no problem. Yeah. They were working. It was working perfectly okay a while ago. It's interesting what you said a while ago, Herbert. That we are not in Europe anymore, but we're in the Europe space there, isn't it?
No. Your space is different from UK space.
Yeah. Let's bring in Anil. Anil, hey, how are you doing?
I am,
Anil, what's
gentlemen.
going on?
I am good. How are you all doing?
Yeah,
Good.
we're good. We are just waiting for the two gentlemen to come back again. They were here a while ago, but I had a little hiccup with their sound. But I said a while ago. Let me see. Let me get them back again. Hi guys, are you there?
Yes, yeah, I'm not sure what happened there.
Okay, fantastic. You're here. Yep.
Yep, we can hear you now. Yeah,
We can hear it. Fantastic. Well, listen, Gore and Summerbell, listen, that's Anil there, my co-host, and Herbert also my co-host as well. And Anil, these gentlemen here are from Jamaica, and they are into racing. Tommy Gore and Summer Summerbell. They are in Germany for the start of their ADAC GT4 Germany racing season, Saturday, April 27th. Without further ado, guys, tell us about what you guys do and tell us about yourselves. And go for it, yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, we've both been racing drivers for pretty much all our lives. I think we both started when we were about 6 years old in go-karting, and
Yes.
worked our way up through the ranks in Jamaica, like karting to then circuit, which has brought us to Germany, which is why we're here now, on a little bit of a bigger stage, trying to represent our country, Jamaica, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, both of us going back, we raced against each other for like all of our lives. Senna was always a little bit ahead of me, just because he's a little bit older. Every time I move up into a class, he'd be moving on. We get a year together or something, and then of course our dads racing against each other at Dover, so we're always seeing each other there, and most of the time happy seeing each other. Only when the rivalry got a little tense, sometimes we wouldn't speak over the weekend, or we were spying on each other's cars or something, you know. But racing in Jamaica was amazing, and I think we both learned a lot of what we know from Jamaica, and we just want to prove that on a world stage that Jamaica can compete in every sport. You know, we're already at the top of track and field and of the whole Olympic system. I think in most categories we still do pretty well, and we race pretty well, apart from even just 100 meters. So we want to just expand that and broaden our scope as Jamaicans and represent Jamaica to the best that we can over here in Germany.
And interesting what you said a while ago, that Jamaica is into all these different sports as well. Bobsled and everything that Jamaica is tapping into, you know. But tell O'Neill, you got something to say. And
No, I just wanted to. So Summerbell. So David is your father.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's my father.
Okay. So that's a big racing fraternity family. Is a good friend of mine, Janet Allen. I think there's one of the Summerbell that's married to her daughter. So I have followed racing for a long time. So I'm going to ask a very important question.
Yeah.
Verstappen or Lewis?
I mean that question honestly came out of the blue. It didn't seem like it was starting with Verstappen or Lewis. Honestly, I won't tell a lie. I think right now in the stage that they're in, I think Verstappen is driving on another level. With his machinery, of course. I was telling Tom this earlier. It's not just the driver. I mean, you have to be connected to the car. And obviously, when Lewis was winning all those world championships, there was probably no one better than him. And right now, it's the same for Verstappen. So I think driving changes with cars. People have different driving styles, but right now, I'd have to say Verstappen is driving a little better. I would hope. I mean, I think everyone wants Hamilton to win at this point. Verstappen has just been winning too much, but yeah, I think that's a very political answer. Very two-sided.
That's a great answer, by the way. I'm a big fan of racing. I'm a big Lewis fan. And I go to the race. So when Silburn said you guys were coming on, I was super excited to see two sort of young Jamaicans representing Jamaica. And I think, Tommy, you said it best. Jamaican is known for track and field. There was a gentleman last year, I forgot his name, the Supercross. He was representing Jamaica.
Fraser McConnell.
Yeah, was representing Jamaica, and he won one of the race, I think. So I think it's something that I hope you guys will advertise it, broad and wide, because Jamaica has a great racing history from the rallies up at National Stadium.
Yeah.
Silburn don't know anything about that, where the rallies come into Jamaica and use a cutout school just to go see it. So tell me, as you go, obviously, we said Jamaica with Lickle, but with Talawa, you're going up against machines from Europe, you name it. How are you differentiating yourself in the space?
I mean, the main difference for us is just experience, right? Everybody has a car that's supposedly equal. It's different manufactured cars, but they're all built to a certain homologation by the series. But for us, it's experience over in Europe. We're racing against guys who have 4 or 5 years on these tracks, even more, like just in these cars, and every week in and out, they're in a car, they're testing. And that's where we come into why we need our sponsors and why we need you guys to promote us racing over here, because without you guys and the media, we don't have any backing to show our sponsors and be like, hey, we're on the media, we're on your guys' talk show tonight, we're on this big podcast, and we're on TV here in Germany. We're doing all this kind of stuff just to get that traction in the media, because that is what all these other guys have, right? We have a lot of good sponsors on board this year. We have S-Hotel, Q8 Oils, Sherwin-Williams, Bell Safety, Mobile Freight. All these guys are on board, and I mean,
And obviously Jamaica.
Jamaica Tourist Board. The car is literally a Jamaican flag. So it's from every angle, from the front, from the side, from the back. So we want to promote brand Jamaica, and all the companies on the car are based in Jamaica as well. So it's incredible.
And that's a picture of the car. That's a picture of the car right there, yeah.
Yeah.
Which, I can't see the back. Which car is that? Oh, I'm seeing the front now.
It's a Audi R8 GT4 car.
Okay.
So I would say, if I had to give you a description, I would say right now we're at the start of the Cool Runnings movie, where our machinery is like right now it's like the old metal bobsled. So we're working with that, and hopefully by the end we can set a world record, you know.
But you said something, that's very crucial.
Yeah.
If you just look at Hamilton's story,
Yeah.
right? There's a guy that drove some of the most raggedy cars, but what he did was he believed in himself, and that's the number one thing. That believe in yourself and know that you could go up against any person in the world, right? You've been doing cars from you were, a little baby, right? So you know how to drive. A lot of it is, the eye-hand coordination, all those stuff. But the number one thing is your confidence. So whatever we do to help you with that, we're a part of it. Obviously, see, I'm a big racing fan. I sit and watch it every time he's on the car.
We need to get you to a race, and we need to get you to a race this year.
No, I have been at 10 circuits so far. So
wicked. More than us.
I'm a fan of the sports, man.
Yeah.
So ask a question. I can hear and riff with these guys. There's a lot of questions I could ask, but
and if I ask Herbert, what do you have to say to our gentleman here?
Just curious, why did you choose to follow your father's footsteps?
I feel like it's something like once you started, it's like in your blood, we grew up everything from we were like a year old. I remember just being at rallies, watching it, and growing up, you're seeing your dad racing and doing very well. They're very successful doing it. Everybody knows them because of it. And then you start racing, and it's just a bug that bites you. Not everybody loves it now. We both have siblings that have tried it, and they haven't gone to leaps and bounds to keep doing it, And a lot of people, even in racing, in motorsports, you see the previous generations or future generations coming through, and sometimes the son or the daughter doesn't love it, and they don't continue with it. It has to be within us that we just love the racing and the passion for it. Because without it, you have like a day like today where it was just a hard day from start to finish for us. A regular person is there in the car and they're like, all right, let's just go home. We're there till 10 o'clock, 10:30 tonight, trying to work everything out with the car, trying to make every effort possible to be able to get up to the front and win. So it's something that's in your blood, and it's something that you get addicted to over time. I don't think I could stop immediately right now. So it's almost bad to say that, but it's something that we love, it's a complete culture almost.
Well, thanks for that, ladies and gentlemen. I've got Jamaican Tommy Gore and Senna Summerbell. We're in Germany for the start of the ADAC GT4. Can you tell us a bit more about the ADAC GT4 and the round one of this championship, and tell us about it and how we can actually come in to support you as much as possible.
Yeah, well, so we're racing the ADAC GT4 Championship. It runs in association with the DTM Championship. So, if you guys live in Germany, I'm sure I didn't realize how big of an event it is in Germany. The DTM Championship until today is huge. It almost felt like a Formula One event with so many people, thousands and thousands of people. So we race as a supplement to them. So when they're off the track, we're on. And yeah, hopefully one day where it could take us is maybe to DTM. You know, maybe we can be in that doing if we keep doing well and represent our brand well enough. Then the goal would be to step up into that. You know.
And supporting us from that side is from you exactly what you guys are doing now with this media.
Yes.
It's incredible to have you guys to be with you guys now. I mean, it's late at night here or whatever, but it's completely necessary, and that's the support that we need, to be honest with you. And the support from the fans as well. Everybody watching, please go follow our YouTube, Gore Summerbell. We're uploading vlogs, like I think bi-weekly or at least once a month, from every race that we go to.
So unfortunately, I was actually telling Tommy at the start of the season, I was like, how the racing world has become. It's kind of sad, but it's even in Formula One. As you're a fan, it's you pay to race pretty much, and nowadays. I was telling Tommy the way to make it is marketing. If you look at a Ken Block, for example, everybody knows who Ken Block is. But was he really an amazing driver? No, he's a great marketer. Yep. So that's what we also need to be, as well as great drivers, great marketers, and reach out to everyone and get them involved and make a story. You know, like 2 Jamaicans in Germany,
Yes.
striving to do their best. You know.
So
go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
What has the government done in terms of putting your faces out there?
In Germany, so directly with the JTB, we're partnered with them for the season. I think Rose was the one that actually arranged this stream or this podcast with us.
Actually,
she's amazing. Yeah, she's amazing. I think she's watching now. So thank you very much. So
she's just on.
The JTB,
she's on now.
Yes, yeah. We have a partnership with them for the year, and it's really great so far. It looks like they're going to have a lot of involvement throughout Germany, getting our name out there, doing these press releases, or throughout Europe actually, doing these press releases. They've given us some materials to be distributed tomorrow. We actually have an autograph session at the track with all these people. I think it's 100,000 people at the track tomorrow. So yes. it's really, really incredible. That as Senna said, it feels like you're at a Formula One event with the amount of people there and the excitement around it. It is truly almost eye-opening for us, and it's something that we think that we can definitely find value for our sponsors in.
Yeah, I see. Stephen Gunter said, "Congratulations to both of you for competing their first GT4 race today. This is a big step. Continue to live the dream and Jamaica Tourist Board as well." I've got Rosemary here. Rosemary, can you speak?
I can speak. I'm just so sorry that somehow I'm not being able to join, but I'm very happy to be able to say something about these 2 phenomenal racers from Jamaica.
Yes. What are you saying about them?
Yes. I would just like to say that I got to meet these gentlemen personally, and I have fallen in love with them. I've taken over as their German Jamaican mama, and I'm doing everything to promote them. You know, there's just so much excitement right now as you speak. We're getting ready to drive from where we are in another hour so that we can join them and see them today where they are racing. I think the gentlemen represent, and they are representing Jamaica so strongly. They are, I talk to these 2 young men and I see their effort. I see, the family tradition of, achieving, of going out there and representing. And we are so proud in the diaspora. Yeah. So I'm just like jumping behind them and doing everything I can to promote and to make sure that other diasporans, not only just in Germany, but also in Europe, come out and see the races, support the guys, go online, go to Gore Summerbell Racing, make sure that you follow them on Instagram, and of course it's Jamaica to the world.
Jamaica to the world.
Yeah.
In light of what is happening here now, Gore and Summerbell, like you have the weight of Jamaica on your back. Do you sense that as well? A sense of destiny on your shoulders?
Of course. I mean, even now, I have to hold my phone in my hand with the amount of notifications I'm getting in from people at the end of today after they're seeing our results and everything. So, I mean, today was a hard day. I mean, it wasn't the best day in the office for us, but it's the first race, and even like as I said tonight, we're working super hard with the team, trying to come back as best as we can for tomorrow, and already making plans for the next race meet to see what we can do to improve, and
Well,
just do everything that we can to represent Jamaica to the best of our ability. You know,
So,
well,
that's how we
we won't keep it too long. Because I know we said 15 minutes, and you're going to have a massive race. O'Neill and Herbert, in the last word.
What's your team? So I assume Senna and Tommy, you guys have a team around you, helping you, and so forth.
So we are racing with Sape Motorsports. It's a team out of the Czech Republic, and we are the only car under the team for this championship. So it's really us, the two of us driving the same car with this team, and we're working with them to do everything possible to continue moving up the field. You know, it's their first season in the championship as well, so there's a lot to learn and there's a lot to capitalize on in terms of being a new team and being the first to come and be able to do anything like this out of the Caribbean.
That's awesome. I would say, stay hungry.
Of course,
it's a
yeah.
rich tradition. Your father is a legend in the sporting world in Jamaica, so you have that going for you. Continue to just stay hungry, represent Jamaica well. Make sure you do a lot of sim time every sleeping day. I have a setup down in my basement, a Formula One setup. So when I get stressed out, that's where I go. So.
We need to connect it with the JSRA, the
Jamaica Sim Racing Association.
Yeah.
Oh, I got it.
They're amazing. Yeah, we'll send that info over there.
That's how we've been practicing.
Yeah,
you definitely have to join. They have races every Friday, Saturday, Sunday night, and it's all Jamaicans, well, Caribbeans. Jamaica team versus Colombia versus Panama. Wicked.
Yeah.
I love it. Then say, I know the lady on the phone. How can folks connect with you guys?
Well, it's so easy. I mean, just come to the track. It's kind of funny today.
Come to the track.
online there.
That's
the most direct. Yeah.
That's the most direct. But anyway, Instagram,
we Gore and Senna Summerbell on Instagram, on YouTube, Gore Summerbell Racing. We're on every platform, so it's very good.
Yeah.
A good
Will
story.
the race be live tomorrow?
Today I was at the track and there was this little kid that came up to me and I mean obviously we're gonna speak to everybody and the kid stopped and I was like, oh my gosh, no other driver, like how come you're so nice? Like what's wrong? And I'm thinking and when you think about it in the racing world, there a lot of people have serious ego problems and they're cocky, and I mean it was nice to just know that you could make a kid's day by just
standing up outside and speaking to them.
Hey, talking about Verstappen.
Okay, let's Rosemary want to say something. Rosemary, go ahead.
Yes, exactly. And that point is that point. I think it's Senna who just made it about being cocky and not being approachable. I just found the two guys to be just so easy to talk to, so easygoing, so friendly, and I just think that's Jamaica. That's us, just us treating everyone equally and just being friendly and just being down to earth. And I would love for everyone to meet Tommy and to meet Senna and to just become a part of the magic that they are. Not only are they going to be fast, and we just want everyone to come out not only to the tracks, but also then, go stream it then online, but really go to the tracks, right? Because that's where you get to really feel their energy and meet them in person. I mean, I'm smitten. I'm like following every race. So come out and watch the races and make sure these guys are winning anyway. They're where they're at, they're representing, and I can't say it enough. We are just so absolutely proud of them.
Thanks for that. And ladies and gentlemen, just to let you know, you can join them on Instagram with the same names, Tommy Gore, and I'm looking at your platform here now, Tommy Gore and Senna Summerbell.
And then we're trying to show all our content on our YouTube page, Gore Summerbell Racing. So that's where we've been posting all the vlogs from the whole racing and stuff, which is very cool. I mean, I didn't even expect. I don't think both of us expected to be in a situation, and it's kind of cool to share with all the Jamaicans, what it's like, and I mean, hopefully inspire some people to want to do it as well, because it's crazy. I didn't expect. I'm just standing here today looking at this wow,
Oh.
I mean, and how I think is, I'm standing there thinking, wow, I want Jamaica to look like this when we're racing again, you know? Because I know back in the day, Tommy was talking about it earlier. I think that's where both of us got the love for it. Just even at Dover, seeing the amount of people that come and the entertainment that you provide is really cool. And when you saw it today, it brought back a lot of memories from back in the day in Jamaica. And hopefully one day we'll get it back like that, you know?
Exactly. I mean, the support,
So
the support from the fans is incredible. I think from the German side, like
Yes.
even with just people just seeing the car, like we're coming out of the pits, people are videoing our car coming out, reposting it on their story, tagging us on Instagram, everything.
That's with the Jamaican colors. That with the Jamaican colors.
Yeah. It just grabs the attention of everybody. So the support over here, and then like what Senna said, what gave us a love for the sport was that support from all of our fans. So we consider everybody that is showing that support, interacting with our posts, everything. And you guys are a part of the team, and you guys are really the reason that we do it. You know.
I'm looking at your shoes as well.
Your
Your shoes are yellow. Is it a Puma shoes or what? Is it, I don't know. Is it,
no, those are OMP. We're waiting on the Puma shoes. We're waiting on them.
But let me ask you a question though. Do you guys hope to transition into Formula One or the American circuit?
Formula One would be amazing, but you have $5 million for us to just come and blow.
Okay. Oh, okay.
No,
We would love it. I mean, it's.
One second,
I think
Rosemary.
most of us have that ability, you know, but it's just about budget right now. You know, it's a lot hard to do without partnerships with big brands.
Well,
Yeah.
like I said earlier, the racing world has transitioned to pretty much if you have millions of dollars, you can race pretty much any kind of racing. As we've seen even in Formula
It's
One,
like a partner business.
it is, and
exactly.
it is, and at the end of the day, there's a lot of great drivers that can't make it, and the reason is they just don't have the support of of everyone, and they're not marketable. So
you guys are marketable. I'll get
For
you
sure.
guys information behind. We're a big sponsor of McLaren. So I'll get you info from Silborn.
yeah.
thank
Sure,
you,
sounds good.
thank
Yeah.
you.
I'm gonna let Rosemary wrap up. Rosemary, because you got it.
Yes, I just wanted to say, with all due respect, that we are just so totally thrilled that Tommy and Senna, even through this very busy day, agreed to come on. We have lots of other appointments. I have lots of other appointments that I've organized for them. And as we promised to not make it too long tonight, we are going to be back on Silborn. Remember Silborn?
Yes.
They're going to be back on for a longer time. So look forward to that, I think, and create the excitement for that, and let them get some rest tonight.
Yeah. And definitely, and make sure we get some images as well, so we can keep
Definitely.
pushing.
For sure.
And what
Just
do you
waiting
guys?
on those from the photographer, but I mean, it's crazy. Thank you guys for having us.
Yeah. What are you drinking? What are you drinking? Talk and sip. What are you drinking? What are you drinking? Are you drinking something?
Drinking
water.
And then drinking pink gin.
Yeah, man. I mean, we have 6 rounds for the year, so we have plenty to talk about, and I'm sure we'll have a lot of excitement over this year.
And hopefully we can call you back on a Sunday night with the winning champagne bottle in our hand from the podium.
There you go.
All right. Enough respect. And now they're having lots of jerk poke and lots of music and oxtail there.
That's a plan. That's a plan for the future. We need a partnership with Grace to bring on Walker's Wood to bring all their brands over. So.
All right. Okay. Good.
The first step.
All right. Well, listen, guys. I want to thank you so much for staying beyond the 15 minutes and I'm going up to 30 minutes with us tonight. And congratulations on what you're doing, and keep bigging up the Jamaica brand, and as well, as they say, out of many one people. That's one of the exciting things, of course, as Jamaicans, and just keep flying the flag high. And thank you so much. And Rosemary, thank you so much for facilitating both Tommy and Senna tonight.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Speak
Thank
soon.
you. Speak soon. And congratulations again for you winning tomorrow.
Thank you.
Cheers. Bye-bye.
Yeah, man. Big up.
Bye. Yes.
These guys, two wonderful gentlemen.
Yes. Thank you so much. You're gonna stay on a bit?
Thank you, Rosemary.
Yeah, no problem. We're driving in a bit to go see the guys, but I'll stay on maybe for another 25 minutes if you'd like me to.
Okay. Well, we can go with the flow. So guys, yeah, what do you think about this duo and the work that they're doing and bigging up the brand? It's like, as I said, O'Neill, it's just like taking it away from all the different issues which are happening. Somebody said, "What's going on, Silver? Not politics. You're into motor racing."
So I think the reason I love this, there's a lot of people that don't realize that Jamaica has a rich history of motor racing.
Yeah.
His father is a legend. The Gores, they've been a legend in the racing. If you used to go to Dover, maybe Silver and you're Ochiman, but you don't know where Dover is.
I know where Dover is. Please remember.
No, he knows where Dover is, but he's never been to the track.
Come on, guys. Come on.
Yeah, so it's
Burnham feeling in places there, man.
There you go. We have a history. Even now on a Sunday, you could go to Burnham Field and you see folks racing. But I remember we used to have a leg of the rally. I don't remember which one it was, but I used to cut school.
Thank you, Kenneth. All right, thank you, Kenneth, and Jamaica Simulation and Kenneth and those guys for your comments a while ago. Sorry, Anil, I just don't want.
No, so I used to cut school just to go see the dexterity test in the parking lot of the National Stadium. So I'm super happy to see the representation and them trying to get into GT4. You could tell they're two good young kid who have a lot in front of them. And I think the more we could come and sort of help them from the diaspora, I think they could get a long way. Because as I think it was Tommy, our center, said, motor racing is all about sponsorship. Have the talent, they come from the pedigree, obviously. So it's a matter of how do you get them that marketing. And I think, on the eve of, One Love and Bob Marley, they should take advantage of the fact that, everyone is looking at Jamaica, and from a cultural perspective, you go to Germany, anywhere in the Scandinavian country, there's a huge affinity to the Jamaican brand. So I think they should take advantage of that because everyone want a piece of Jamaica right now.
And they said something. They said something also very key a while ago, which was marketing.
Yeah.
If we can actually support that whole quest to keep pushing that marketing as well as the brand Jamaica as well. Herbert, you're going to say something a while ago.
No, I'm just alluding to what Oni said. Everybody want a piece of them like Gulliver.
Gulliver.
Yeah.
Everybody want a piece of it. Rosemary, tell us about your relationship and your sort of quest and your desire to really market these gentlemen and to really go full on.
Right. So, Silborn, thank you for the opportunity to comment. Yes, whenever let me put it this way: everything Jamaican I promote, and I think public relations and promoting and just showing my country, and especially things and people and effort that I'm proud of and I truly believe in, I give it 100% of my effort. You know me from advocacy and from just promoting Jamaica from the days of when I was very involved in tourism and so on. I've always been there in America, in France, and here in Germany, every minute of the way, promoting Jamaica, getting the diaspora involved. To represent and to just go out there and be unified in spreading the good and the wonderful things and people that are in Jamaica, things about Jamaica that are in Jamaica. Now, when I found out about these gentlemen and that they'd be coming to Germany, I was very excited to be involved with anything to do with promoting them. However, I'm doing this as just a diasporan who loves them. I'm doing this with the love in my heart, trying to get everybody together to just totally support them. I have a dream. When you look at that car, it's like Jamaica. You see us and you see us shining from every direction. Every time you look at that car, even on the track with those boys, it's all Jamaica. So that energy, that patriotism, that positiveness, that we are here. I mean, they're winning. even if they're not winning, you know what I mean? But they're winning already. And so just to stand fast with them and share that energy and show all the pride, you know, it's just wonderful. And so that's my involvement. I've met their families. Well, I've met Doug, and I'm totally crazy about all the work that their father Doug is doing in Jamaica for children in school, giving back to the community. I also spoke with David. I haven't met him yet, but I know that he too, you know, took favor his fathers in racing and the family, and just basically how they've been back to Jamaica. And here are the boys. And like I said, down to earth, totally Jamaican. You know, you see Tommy walking around with him coffee. Them father walk around with him Betty condensed milk to put in her coffee. Just being show them some things about Germany. Getting them involved in many things in Germany, coming from the diaspora, just you know, doing the free PR as a diaspora, and which all the steps of the way, you know, just making sure that Germany gets to love them, because you know they're lovable and Jamaica is lovable, and so that's where I'm at with that.
You know what, Kenneth Richardson said a while ago that what is very powerful about the story is that their dads were very strong rivals on the race course, and now their sons are building a brand for themselves.
The Silver, I can remember it. They used to say, "It's Summerbell, it's Gore, I said, it's Summerbell, no, it's Gore," and it was pandemonium.
You see, only Silver was not offered those opportunities, because when he was in Ocherius, even though racing was Jamaica, but he was stuck in a corner of Ocherius where only a transistor reader could pick up.
Listen, Andy Chin and those guys and those in Ocherius there was part of this whole running and
it was that's what someone told us, Silver.
Yeah, but Kenneth just made an excellent point. The fact that on the track and they're building a brand for Jamaica, it's so powerful. And the lady on the phone, in terms of, you know, what she's doing to support them over there in Germany, we should all do it. Because it's brand Jamaica, and the fact that they have sort of, you know, put the flag wrap around the car. You know, you're not getting more marketing about brand Jamaica than any place else when you see two young boy on a track with, you know, thousands of people from around the world.
And Rosemary, in light of like the diaspora conference which they're having, and what about, is there something like this should also be flagged up there from a cultural aspect, and how the diaspora can get involved in these areas?
Yes, Philborn, that's what I'd love to come to. The gentleman before mentioned about the famous fathers and how they were in competition, they were rivals, and then now they're working together. My God, what a message. What a message that even in all our individual pursuits as Jamaicans on the world stage, we can come together, join forces, unified, and just take the world by storm. And that's the message I'm thinking about. I'm thinking of this family, working together, supporting each other. You know, when one parent is here now, Doug is here now, and then the next time it's going to be somebody else. And so they space it out. What an example of working together. And I think it's just, and even it's microcosm of an example. It's just so huge. It's just so big. And that's why I'm pushing it. And yes, I'm thinking that Gore Summerbell, maybe I know I'm putting a lot of hope in these guys, and when they appear on the world stage here in Germany, that they're going to pull the diaspora, because that's what I'm trying to push online and everywhere else, that people are going to come out to see them, and we are going to meet other Jamaicans that we would not have normally have met at the track, or, you know, or even online. We wouldn't have normally met them, and, you know, and here we are coming together around something so great. It is just so powerful. You know, you feel the immensity of it. And that is what I think that I'd love to be out there, this passion of how we can together achieve so much, and take it further, even to our diaspora conference, for example. when we are going back home, I'd love to see us focus on things that are gonna be good for the Jamaican people, like Gore Summerbell on the world stage, pulling Jamaicans together at their races, showing how we can all work together. What more do you want? What an example.
Yeah, that's really powerful, Rosemary. And as Stephen got us exactly right, Kenneth Richard, that aspect of the unfolding story is very compelling. And of course, it links with Usain Bolt there, it links with the Australian, and it links with all different aspects, the bobsled, the cool runnings, and there's this marketing element. But can I just say, in even deviating a bit from that, in Jamaica at present, and if I glean the YouTube channels and I glean bloggers and everything like that, I'll be picking up another story. I'll be picking up all these negative elements. You know what I'm trying to say? And this is like a light which is shining through. O'Neill, what do you say about that? Yeah.
It's sort of been my philosophy, right? There's a lot of people who thinks nothing good come out of Jamaica, right? And as you said, they amplify the negative stuff. But to your point, this is stories that you need to pick up and amplify, right? Because this is such a powerful story about the fact that you have these two young men representing Jamaica on the world stage. And if you just look at Jamaica writ large, we're doing downhill skiing, right? We have a bobsled team. We have a reggae girl team that is world class. So across the board, I think these are the stories that we should amplify. And I think we in the diaspora could do more to amplify these stories. So that's why the lady in Germany, what's her name? Silver, I'm sorry.
Rosemary. So can I just say, sometimes she's talking to me and she breaks off into Germany and I'm saying, Rosemary, you're speaking to me in German.
It is the excitement.
Exactly. So it's just the fact that Rosemary could do what she does. We should all do it, and I wish we'll take these stories, to your point, and amplify. And my stance with the diaspora conference. You and I talked earlier. It's in its 8th setting. I wish we'll amplify stuff like this. And I'm happy the Jamaica Tourist Board, but hopefully the Minister of Sports, right? These are things that we should have programs to sustain, young men, young women who have a vision and who have ambition in whatever sports. We should have some support system from the Minister of Sport to help, when you decide to go represent Jamaica and wrap you the flag. There's a lot of people who, the minute they get a chance, they run from the Jamaican brand. But these are folks, I'm sure they could represent anywhere, but they decide to represent the Jamaican brand.
Yes, definitely. Herbert?
Yeah, it goes to show that there, despite the rivalry, there are partnerships that can be created, positive partnerships that can be created. If we look at the current state of Jamaica now, people are more connected emotionally, where these two young men have put the rivalries of their fathers behind to create something of something positive. They're not racing against each other; they're racing with each other. And as it is said in the past, a child shall lead. Yes. If we take all these positive actions into consideration, I do not see why they can't progress to the big stage.
Yeah. I was thinking about even the okay, let's use a Paula Llewellyn bit, the DPP in Jamaica. And I'm looking at it from a perspective whereby the court made a ruling and many people are having their interpretation about it. The government is thinking one way, the opposition is thinking another way. And I look at it away and I said, why not the powers that be Rosemary, Herbert, and O'Neill, they come together and say, right, this is bigger than us. Let us see how we can come together and sort it out. You know,
Ego will not allow them to do it.
Rosemary,
Yeah.
ego. O'Neill,
Yeah.
Herbert say, yeah.
Well, Silborn, you know my thing already. I'm one of those who always preach whatever, as long as it's good for the Jamaican people and it's the best for the Jamaican people, we have to pull all of our resources together as the best minds and make sure that everyone is contributing to the solution. And you know, when things like these happen, where people, you know, apparently the law said in retrospect that you know, she should have, you know, not have been extended, well then let's follow the law, no? And we've appointed someone who's now the deputy who is acting, you know, until they appoint him. Let's get on with it. Why would we try to go against our laws, right?
Yeah.
Well, you see,
I'm sorry,
that is
Herbert.
where that is where ethics comes into question, right? We're not looking at a person. We're looking at their performances over the years, right? What has she brought? What did she bring to the table apart from the chair that she sat on? Right? We know, see where the crown is telling the Jamaican government that they have to pay for Palmer's judicial appeal, and it's only because of one person's indiscretion. It shouldn't be. We need to call a spade a spade. And I think Jamaica is one of the few countries in the world where our leaders can continue to do something that is not according to law and still remain in office.
Yeah.
So I think we need to think amongst ourselves and wonder if we're doing something right for the Jamaican society or for ourselves.
Rosemary, you're going to say something a while ago when O'Neill touched on the.
Yes, I was going to say something about, and this is something I wish that was on the table at the diaspora conference. Advocacy. What is advocacy, and why should we advocate, and why should we make sure that our leaders, not only our leaders on the national scale, but even on the local level, should not be afraid of advocacy? Advocacy means that there is something that's going on or that's being done that could be done better or could be done in a different way to benefit or to really play the role that it should do for the people, you know, that are in question, which are the Jamaican people, right? So let us educate our nation and our people to move away from the feeling of, oh, if I criticize something or a leader, then I'm definitely in the opposition. I must say that our government, from my point of view, yes, they are very open to advocacy in some cases, because from our organization, from the Advocates Network, I know that we can write to the government, we can make suggestions, etc., etc. However, we as a people, even with us conversing, should be able to move away from the point of, if I try to improve something or passage, or say, why not let it do it, let us do it this way. It's not because I think I'm of the opposition party or something like that. In fact, some of us, I know for myself, I don't belong to a party. I've never voted in Jamaica. I'm just thinking of what is better and good for the Jamaican people and what are our laws. Some of them need some adjustment, yes, but everything has a process, you know. Let's talk to each other. Let's work with each other. This is the Jamaica going forward, you know. Our young people, whether we like it or not, they are gonna take the bull by the horns. And let me tell you, there's a new wave of this energy that's there that's gonna create a new kind of a Jamaican patriotism, where we say we're not gonna kill each other. because we're going
Exactly.
to each other. And we need the leadership. We need the leadership to take us to that point. We should defend everything Jamaican with such a strength and such energy that nobody else, just us being Jamaican, keeps us together and make us protect each other. And we need the leadership from wherever it's gonna come to take us to that point.
Yeah. O'Neill, one of the things that we have been talking about is ways how to pull even the whole educational sector together, even like the advent of AI and so like that. And it seems like sometimes these things are missing because the big noise around us sort of shut it down, but it is pushing against those odds, isn't it?
It does, and with regards to the method that you guys are discussing, I would say there's a perception. I don't know the details, and I think most of us don't know the details of the rationale. But with that said, there are precedent where folks who have come to the end of their terms, they've extended. If the government so choose, you can, but you need to explain that to the people as to why. What's the rationale? What's the reason, etc. But I don't know that decision-making process and how that was done. But it's a bad perception if you're not willing, Silver, to explain to the Jamaican people what you're doing, right? Get a pulse and a sentiment from that. And Rosemary actually, said it rightly, because I have been accused right on this program of being one party or the other, because I said, look, at the end of the day, we need to get a better Jamaica for the Jamaican people. And I put things out there and said, as long as it's in the interest of the Jamaican people, we should do it, right? Because the world is transforming at a faster pace than we have seen in the last 10 years. What COVID has done is it has sort of catalyzed, is a term I would use, the adoption of technology in more ways than once, right? Jamaica don't want to be left behind. We have, some of the most talented people in the universe, right?
Yeah.
We have, some of the most, talented universities that we could put up against anywhere. The fact that I'll share because it's public, Intel is going to build one of their most technological plant where? In Costa Rica. The question I asked, why not Jamaica? Right? Because we have the talent, we have the university, we have the research, we have the access to people, but yes, still, we're not doing that because there's a perception around crime, etc. And Rosemary said it best. We have to be willing to talk to each other, because I bet you that we will agree 95% of the time. The 5% of the time we disagree, those can be worked out. But let us focus on the 95%, because what is better for Jamaica is better for us all. And I think we should start figuring out how, I think you said it, Silvern, those bloggers who amplify the things around Jamaica like crime, how we get those bloggers to now amplify the things that are great about our country. And I think if we start doing that in a way, we'll see material changes. Because, one of the things I worry about is that there's a sense of, if you talk to people that, Jamaica is this and Jamaica is that. And it's because of that 2% that people are seeing, and it's a cycle of the same thing over and over and over again. Someone showed me something the other day about some crime element in Jamaica. And I said, that was like 2008. And they're like, no, I just saw it on Instagram. It was 2008.
Yeah.
Right. So I think we have to do a better job.
Yeah, that's very true. We've got, and you know what? We've got the power in our hands in a way to make the change and to shift this sort of narrative. Because, for argument's sake, there's a talk about even the diaspora conference which they're having, and and of course you got persons with legitimate concerns about it and opposing to it, and it seemed like the government and the stakeholders are not talking. And myself and this guy and Rudy Page, we always say all ideas need content. People need to come to the table and sit down and actually have a discourse, have a social discourse to come to some sort of solutions. You know?
Yet, Silborn,
Yes.
Silborn, I think we're failing the leadership that leads in that direction. And when I say leadership, it doesn't have to necessarily be the prime minister,
Yeah.
because we have different kinds of brokers, but they would have to be given the chance to do this, because it's leadership that's gonna get us all together, or get all the factions together that have their varying concerns that you can sweep under the carpet. But there's a way to deal with it where we make sure that people are heard and the concerns are worked on. Now imagine if we had a conference that was dealing with the investment. Come to Jamaica, invest. We're open for business. Let us see some of the small farmers, their projects, how we can get work together. Let's see all of the diasporans that are the companies that can work together, but also at the same time, let's get the best doctors that we have in Jamaica and out in the diaspora. What are the major health problems that we have in Jamaica, or challenges? Get them together to get in that workshop and work on it together. Oh, how about that crime problem that we're having? Let's talk about it. We don't have to, and let's work on it, not just all talk. Let's talk and find solutions. What about disaster preparedness? We had a conference here where we are trying to put together a framework for responding to disaster through the diaspora.
Yeah.
We want to come together and put that together. Let's do that. Where's those workshops? Look at those Jamaicans. We have the best minds, powerful people. Put them together. Guess what? What about that voting thing in the diaspora? Yeah, we need to discuss that. Not be afraid of it and sweep it away, because at some point we have to confront it.
Yeah.
We have to be brave enough. We need the bravery in the leadership. People laugh at me every time that I speak. I remember I was on a radio show in Jamaica where I had suggested that when a particular minister who had allegedly was caught beating his wife or girlfriend at the time on a video, and then he wouldn't answer any questions and so on and so forth, because of course they didn't sign the code of conduct and so on, and nobody could really he wouldn't come forward to say had he done it or not. And I suggested on a radio show in Jamaica, a very popular one, but think about it. If this leader was to say, oh my goodness, Jamaica, I am so sorry. I apologize to my girlfriend. I lost my temper. This is not me on a regular basis, but I did this. But, I have this problem. Many of us Jamaicans have this problem. And start to work on a national program of dealing with anger management, of dealing with gender-based violence. Can you imagine what that would mean for our Jamaican youngsters and people? And look at what's going on in schools now.
Yeah.
Leadership and taking it on to say we're human beings. We have mental health issues. We have challenges. But let's take the bull by the horn and not be too high and mighty. Let's work on it together. Imagine that legacy. Think about it. And if I were the marketing or the PR person advising that person to be genuine about it, that person could have been, maybe, with such a move, the next prime minister of our country. So you see, is it benefiting our people? Do we really have our people at heart? And that's how we have to think about it. And I was laughed at. The lady said, oh, I'm talking gibberish. But I believe in it, that once you lead by example and show that we're all human beings and take the higher ground, no matter what, and make sure that you can lead your people to be convinced about it, that's a quality that really some people are not aspiring towards, but that's where we need to go. And that's what's going to take us out of the rut.
Yeah, yeah. Anil, any last word on it?
With regard to I hope there is actually something that comes out of the diaspora conference. You know my years of perspective and theory around the diaspora conference. I won't belabor the point anymore, but as to say, um, there are people who, there's a term that my Jamaican use, who want more out of Jamaica than they're willing to give. And unfortunately, I'm going to say it, and people will disagree with me, and I don't care because I've seen it, is that there's a ton of people who you'll talk to them and they're bullish about helping Jamaica, and then they'll add the end of what they want from Jamaica. All I want for Jamaica is what we have been talking about. Seeing those two young men representing Jamaica give me so much hope that the fact that they're flying brand Jamaica, all the things that are coming out of Jamaica is super positive. I think the thing that we collectively as the diaspora need to figure out how to take advantage of, there's a huge repatriation of manufacturing from Asia back this side. I mentioned the fact that massive manufacturing is going into Latin and South America. Caribbean countries like Jamaica and my home country should take advantage of that. A lot of people don't realize that back in the day, one of the first golf cart was actually built in Jamaica, right? It was built, but we didn't scale that manufacturing. So we have the talent. Artificial intelligence is going to change. It's going to be a big differentiation for us. I will say, as I've been saying, Jamaica could be the technology corridor for the Caribbean and Latin America. And as that is what my focus is going to be, right? And I hope the diaspora conference, but I'm not, I don't think it's going to amount to anything because, it's something that I've seen over and over. And I hope at some point in time, to Rosemary, there's going to be a lot of leadership that says, look, all we want is to help Jamaica. We don't need anything from Jamaica. Jamaica has given us a ton. Look on this stage right now. You have 4, folks that were born in an island, and, whether it's the US, Germany, the UK, represent our little country. And that is what we have to continue to do versus others who want to suck every blood out of Jamaica.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's very interesting. It is
It's going to go soon.
okay. Rosemary, thank you. Actually, Rosemary, thank you. You're over time. Listen.
Driving in an hour and a half.
Yes.
An hour and a half with driving because we're about 6 hours away.
Yes. Listen, safe travel and big up the guys and everything. And
yes. Jamaica to the world.
Yeah.
Gore Summerbell racing to the world.
Yes.
The diaspora to the world. Big up Jamaica.
Yeah.
One love.
Got on good road.
And take some pictures. And Herbert.
Oh, man, yeah. My son is taking a lot of the videos and the photographs. There are going to be some great videos coming out. Gentlemen, thank you so much. And ladies.
Have a good night, Rosemary. Travel safe.
Please, on.
Travel safe, Rosemary. All the best.
Yes, thank you.
Take care.
Have a great show.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for having the boy.
Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
And ladies and gentlemen, if you can see, I have the details for Tommy Gore and Senator Summerbell, the Instagram link for them, and also the YouTube channel link for them. Well, guys, listen, I'm not going to stay too long tonight because what I think I want to make sure that the discussion don't go too far from beyond the main discussion that we had earlier today. With those gentlemen there. But there's something which I saw very interesting though today. You remember when there was the picker thing, the big massive thing in London whereby the passport people came? Remember?
Yeah, I remember we had the gentleman on the show maybe 2 weeks ago or a year ago. I don't remember.
We had Mr. Winter on, and we had Charlton McFarlane, Mr. McFarlane, on as well. Well, apparently, I was looking at the IC Commission, the IC Integrity Commission. Integrity Commission set out this recent report, and the recent report made it very clear that that he did not, declare his declaration. Declaration wasn't there, and as a result of that, he's been sacked. And there were 5 other persons as well. There were 4 other persons as well that was in the report by the Integrity Commission. And it was very interesting, though. Why I said it was very interesting? It was very interesting because of all the time I keep hearing about Integrity Commission, I never keep hearing about anybody getting sacked, or anybody being removed.
Because the reports kept disappearing.
The reports kept disappearing.
Yes.
Wow.
If you write something which is good about me,
yeah,
you put it out there, you highlight it. But if it is anything bad, it is suppressed. So no,
because there's 5.
Pressure burst pipe.
Yeah, there's 5 persons. Investigation report in the concern that Mr. Trevor Clark, employee of Kingston and St. Andrew, KCMAC, failed to file his statutory declaration with the Integrity Commission for the years 2019, 2020, and 21. Oral Reed, employee of Kingston and St. Andrew, KCMAC, failed to file his statutory declaration 29, 2020, and 21.
So he didn't file it, which is super interesting.
You're
supposed to file it, and they didn't for 3 years. So obviously, right, it's a different case because people will say, well, he got sacked, but other people have filed theirs. It's just that it hasn't been finalized yet.
Like I think that's what the Prime Minister says.
Exactly. Right.
The Prime Minister has filed his, but it's not certified.
Exactly.
Yeah, because Dwayne Vazier, former member of Parliament, failed to provide information requested by the Commission in respect of his statutory declaration. So that's what that is saying, isn't it, Anil? He has filed it, but there's some questions that came up about it.
But the question is, though, how much time were they given?
Well,
sometimes we're quick to pull the trigger.
Well, for 3 years, but so if I just look at it, if I have an employee that there's certain requirements that you have to file, like for example, every year there are certain things that I have to do. It's a statutory requirement that I have to do it, right? I have to do it. I have to provide it. I have to provide information if they have follow-up. And we're in 2024. 2019 to that's almost 5 years. There's no excuse. So at some point in time, whatever reprimand or whatever happened, if you're not willing to provide the information, I'm not going to speculate why not, but you have a requirement, and for almost 5 years you haven't provided. It's not like you've provided it and there's a back and forth in terms of getting it ratified and providing additional information. You just didn't file it.
And you know what is interesting also, it is that you're talking about 2019, 2020, 21, and 22. That is Charlton McFarlane. The question is, why did it take so long then after 2019 and 2020 and leading up to 2023 for these things to be pushed and to reach some sort of resolution? I guess you're going to answer that, Herbert, by saying because these things have not been put forward.
Yeah, because if they keep suppressing the reports, then there comes a time when everything will be made public, and then making it public, it seems like the Integrity Commission has been tardy, when in truth and in fact, the reports are being suppressed.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I say it's unfortunate for Charlton McFarlane, and because he's one of the persons that I met at that event, and I was saying is a spark, is a bright light, is a shining star, in a way, for a public space like the Registrar General. But anyway, we only know one side of most times, really. He said, of course, he was tardy in the whole thing. But the question you got to ask yourself is there any double standard? Is what puss and dog have the same luck or so? But if the Integrity Commission is shaping up and
But
somehow,
but Silver, is it
yeah,
double standard based on what we have heard? Obviously, it might be some truth in between, but if he has not filed it, the difference is that the other folks have filed theirs. There's just a back and forth, right, in terms of the ratification process, right? I don't know what the employment agreement states, but you've had 5 years and you didn't provide it based on the reporting. Maybe the reporting is wrong, right? Or, who knows? I don't want to speculate on it. So I think it shows, rightly or wrongly, Herbert, in my opinion, that the process is working, right? Just remember the Integrity Commission mandates and policies updated a couple of years ago. So obviously they're learning, and how do you strengthen and put the governance in place, right? You're going to learn and you're going to tweak. So obviously it's going to take folks from the House or the Senate to say, we have this Integrity Commission, which is critical to clean governance in our politics in Jamaica and reduction in corruption, etc. We need to add these additional strengths and controls, etc., etc. So hopefully the system works.
Yeah. Someone just said a while ago, it was mentioned that Tommy and Senna could represent another country. They're both Jamaicans with Jamaican parents and grandparents.
So Stephen, what I meant by that is not that they could. What I meant, there's a lot of people who want to represent other countries, right? They want to go adopt another country. That's what I meant. I know they're Jamaican. Their great grandfather was one of the best raised there back then. So let me just clarify. I'm just meaning that there are some Jamaicans who want to run away from Jamaica. That's what.
Yes. And I see where you're coming from right there. And what you're saying, these guys are running into the arms of Jamaica and going for it and not being a traitor.
Yeah.
Or so, But anyway, yeah, I see the last bit with what you said about the Integrity Commission. If they're shaping up, and I think a lot of shaping up, I believe, is happening in Jamaica as well. There's putting pressure. Maybe the opposition is becoming a bit more effective in a sense, and putting pressure on the government and coming together. I believe that somehow they need to really work together in some respects.
Yeah.
Especially with the place of Vale Royal. I was just in Jamaica just 2 weeks ago. Actually, it's a shame. I can't say I was there last week now, 1 week ago, because the week has now gone. I can't say I was there last week. Or in Ocho, Herbert. Don't say anything, Herbert. You don't have to say anything.
I know we're going to end, but I think
I shall remain silent.
I want to end where we started, because I want to address someone who talked about AI. And Richard Feynman says, well, there's some people who know the name of the bird, and there's some people who know about the bird, and I'll leave it at that. So the two driver that was here before, one of the things they do is look at their time, and AI play a huge role in collecting that data, and every track, whoever is around them is analyzing the data. They're taking information of every component of the engine, sensors, etc., and they are figuring out how to tweak that engine just a little bit to get more out of it. That is AI, right? You could leverage AI for that. So the notion that AI will create, not so much good for society, it's a wrong viewpoint to take, right? we could use AI to provide much more access to healthcare and diagnostic in Jamaica, which, you go to some hospitals, you hardly could find doctors who sort of could do, just given the population that they have to deal with. So you could augment a doctor now that could do more in terms of healthcare delivery. So when I hear a statement like that, what I would say, don't know this person, is just ignorant. It's just ignorance, because I believe there's a lot of things that we could do with AI in Jamaica.
But even if you look at where medicine's coming from now, where back in the day someone had throat cancer, that was it for life. Now they're having devices where that person still will be able to communicate, and that in itself, believe it or not, is AI.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what I'm saying, Herbert. Some people just read headlines, Vices digging deeper, and unfortunately, some people just know the name of the bird and not about the bird.
Well, I must say that on my recent trip to Jamaica, and I've got some ideas as well in some of the places that I've been to, and especially my former schools. I believe the way the world is actually moving now, it is something that we've got to recognize and to adopt, or else you'll be left behind and wondering how did that happen, So I believe that the advent of AI is a very crucial point in our life. It is like, well, I was looking at some libraries the other day, and I said, who goes to the library anymore? Who goes to the library anymore? Library was something that we used to go to the library before. We used to have these red book, these encyclopedias and all those sort of things. But that's not the way all things are anymore. Things are sort of different. The new generation of children, they may not be able to write, unfortunately, with properly, but their way of actually doing things is going to be different than us. That's the reality, isn't it, O'Neill? It's reality.
Actually, I'm actually partnered with a non-for-profit in New York City, and what we're looking at is how do we leverage natural language processing or visual processing in classrooms, where you have students in Black and Brown community who have limited resources in some instances. How do we augment the teacher by having these visioning system? Obviously, you have to adhere to the privacy, but be able to track the facial expression when you're doing math, for example, and be able to say, hey, O'Neill and Silburn, they learn totally different. Here's where O'Neill lost, right? The sort of the train of thought in the explanation of a math problem. So now from a teacher perspective, I could go focus on that piece, right? So in education, it's huge. So I think, Silburn, the application, in terms of augmentation, we see the divide. Just think of every high school primary students in Jamaica that have an AI agent that they could go to. Imagine the standard of deviation, upward mobility that could give to them, right? Just by having that AI teacher that if you're stuck on a particular problem, you could go to. Imagine the access that could create, right? Imagine you go to a doctor and now you get all that information. The doctor has it in his or her hand. And now they're able to collaborate across, and because they've seen this type of diagnostic before, right? So there's a ton of application. It just sometimes people go down the dystopian route of what AI. I don't pay attention to that. It's a field that I'm in. You know this, Silver, and so it's something for us to embrace because I think it's the future. It's going to be embedded in everything, but I believe it's what I call the cell phone moment. Back in the day in Jamaica, you used to wait 3, 4, 5, 6 years to get a phone line in your house.
Yes.
But in Jamaica, now have 1, 2, 3 phones. right? Imagine what you could do, right, to amplify, to build entrepreneurship in Jamaica, leveraging this technology, right? So I think there's a lot of things that we could do to help our island. And I'm going to say it again, Jamaica could be the technological hub of the Caribbean and Latin America. We have the high.
But the mindset need to be changed.
Exactly. We have the universities. We have some of the companies there that, there's a ton of infrastructure in place. We have the fiber. A lot of people don't realize that Jamaica have major fiber infrastructure, that Cayman, Miami, etc. So I think it's just helping to create the ecosystem that is going to lift and make sure we have proper use case. Obviously, we have to make sure ethics and privacy, etc. But I'm bullish on it, and it's something that I am going to work on. And that's sort of will be my gift to Jamaica, is to figure out how to do that.
Well, Anil, sorry, Herbert, you going to say something?
No, it's right on the piggybacking off what Anil has said. While the infrastructure is there, the mindset of the people must change. And as Jamaicans, we're quick to take everything personal. They have something against us, or they have something against me. We need to get past that and try to see how we can uplift ourselves to be a part of the change that is coming or supposed to be coming.
Yep. Well, thanks for that. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you so much for joining tonight, and for those who are joining on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok as well. And thanks for having the two gentlemen, Tommy Gore and Senna Summerbell. You can see their numbers are running across their Instagram and their YouTube channel. Remember to support them as well, and Jamaica to the world as much as we can say. Anil, listen, all the best. And Herbert, all the best.
I'll see you guys next month.
Okay, so another fish fry.
Yeah, another fish fry.
No fried fish business, team fish.
Actually, I went to
Hellshire.
And
Hellshire is still there?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Still there, man. Still there. And hold on. What was there?
Because I saw this thing, Jamaica Walk and Talk thingy on YouTube, and he was showing Hellshire, and like there was no beach.
Oh, you talking to me?
Huh?
You're not referring to me, because somebody said it when I posted the beach. Somebody said there's no beach there.
No, there's a guy who it's called Jamaica Walk and Talk.
Okay.
He walks and highlight different places in Jamaica. Yes. And he was in Hellshire, and I'm like, there's no beach. So you went, so I'd love to hear your experience.
Well, actually, someone said as well that the beach factor there was very small, that section there for the beach. But of course, what is happening now is in Jamaica is that the beach is still there, but maybe the front of it is now being taken up by other places, because Hellshire is also being built up. But when I was there,
Hellshire has been from inception a housing community.
Yes.
It only happened. It's only because the developers, Gore and those people, have decided to encroach on the beach.
Not the same Gore though.
They're all related. Maxwell and all that.
So Herbert,
yes,
it's more. So the issue with Hellshire is that people have built. If you go to Hellshire back in the day, there was a beach, because I used to spend a ton of years, because my uncle was one of the first person to build a house in Hellshire. And I remember I used to go down the beach, fish. My aunt used to sit on the beach. But over the years, people have come and built infrastructure. You're right, unregulated infrastructure right by the beach. And the what do you call it now? The reef died. So there was a reef out, and because of all the pollution, etc., their reef died, and that was the issue in terms of that environmental degradation. But it's not to do with developers per se. It's just that we've killed the reef.
Yeah, yeah. And anyhow, as I was saying, the guy, when we were driving into Elshire, the guy was saying, take the camera off us, take the camera off us. And I said, I know the camera was on us or something like that, you know. But you have to pay.
You probably have to pay.
Yeah, you have to pay to go inside there, you know what I mean? And so like that. But
into Hesha.
Yeah, you have to pay to go in the section there, yeah. And they have lots of fish places, lots of I forget where we went, where my sister took us to, and so you got all these different fish places, all these different shops were there, you know, and so it was very nice. But I must say that the fry fish was also great, and also the steam fish was also great. I think next time when I go there, I'll have steam fish and fry fish at the same time. You know?
So Herbert, what that tells you something. Man from Ho Chi Minh, no fish at Ho Chi. You set yourself up there, bro. And you have to go to town to get your fish.
Well, what can I say? What can I say? It was great walking through Orchards.
You walk right into that one.
but you know the funny thing about it is that, yeah, you're right. I mean, no, you're not right. I mean, there's so many fishes in Orchards at Osha whalers. I should have gone there, but I didn't get to go there as well, you know. And go to White River, you know. White River was also awesome with some wicked food up there as well, you know. Miss Jean under the bridge there and stuff like that, you know. So, yeah. What can I say? You know. So listen, guys. All the best. And thank you so much for joining tonight. And Kenneth Richardson, thank you so much. New York City, respect. Stephen Gunter, thank you so much. Michelle Clark, and all the rest. Jamaica Simulation Racing, Stephen Gunter, Jard FX, and thank again to Tommy Gore and also Senna Summerbell. All right. So peace out, guys, and have a good night. Yeah. See you next week.
All right. See you next week.
Cheers, man. Good man.